So, sir, what do you remember of those time during the emergency? Could you tell us?
At that time, initially, to be very frank, we came to know about the emergency through papers, newspapers, and we were astonished because we were very new to the police force. And what is emergency? Then we checked it up from our seniors and knew what was going to happen. And we had to follow the directions. And initially, we used to get the warrants of MISA, Maintenance Security Act, and those warrants were with the names of the person concerned, and those warrants were to be got executed.
Okay. So do you remember some people that you arrested during that time? Did you meet them after they were in the custody, something like that?
After the custody, I met two persons when I was posted as SHO Narayana.
Okay. Could you tell us their names?
I don't know the name, to be very frank.
Yeah.
They were from a political party,
Yes.
opposition party, Jansang, I suppose, Jansang Mathevo.
Right.
And they met me, and they had some work there, and they met me and told me, Malik साहब आपको याद है आपने हमें उठाया था मैंने बिल्कुल याद है कहता आपकी ड्यूटी थी आपने जो किया था हमें कोई आपसे वो गिला नहीं है पर आप क्या करते आपकी जगह मैं होता मैं भी करता that's what he told me.
Right. So you said you were new to the force. When did you join the police forces?
I joined the police force in the year 1968, but I came to the after training for one year. 1 year was training, another 70 we got the posting, first posting. That was in PCR and thereafter to the police station.
Right. So you were new to the police forces when the emergency happened. What were your challenges that you faced personally and professionally? Could you tell us something about that?
As for the challenges, were there what challenges were faced? I don't think any challenge was faced because the crime wasn't reduced at that time, and the corruption was reduced. There was no challenge for us because we are persons from disciplined force, and we have to carry out the orders, and the orders were only for us to execute the warrants. That's all, and pick them up and put them to produce them in the court. That's all. There was no other challenge, to be very frank.
Right. So there were not challenges that you arrested people. There were so many warrants maybe coming in to arrest political leaders or something like that.
It was only for against political leaders only. Right. It was a political war, you can say. It's every time there is a political war. On political war, there were warrants against the people by name, and their addresses were given. So we used to organize a raid. Sometimes the people were not available. They had escaped or have gone underground because the information was very fast out. That so many people are being arrested and this and that. And so many people vanished, Not all. But even then, we could make out, but there was earlier we didn't have this mobile phone and whatnot and get the location, everything. No technology and whatnot, but we used to get information from the sources, and thereafter you get to get them.
So you described it as political war.
Yeah.
So in terms of normal life, in terms of public life, so the buses or the trains, all of that were functioning normally?
Normally, yes. They were functioning normally. Buses were there, trains were there, everything was functioning. There was fear. There was fear. Can you imagine one thing I tell you? There were opposition people in the area of Kotla Warapur, and we used to have, during a round, we call it patrolling. At that place, we could see the shops. I don't want to name the group of the party. That used to be a party from an opposition party. They used to remove their own leaders' photographs. Fear. That's what fear is. And Indira Gandhi's photo was placed there.
So, sir, do you know how many makeshift jails were made during that time to accommodate the number of prisoners?
Because earlier there was no more, there was only one Tihar jail. I know, because as what experience I had that time, I don't think any other jail was there except for Tihar jail. And they were all put in there straight, were sent to the court. Court used to send them. The law was made such that there will be no bail, they'll remain in the jail. They were sent in jail, and only after the emergency was removed, they came back from the jail.
Should use one word to describe that period or one line, what would that be? If you have to describe emergency period, what can you use?
One line, to some extent, it was good for the general public, but was misused.
And misused in what senses?
Misuse in the sense, in the case of sterilization, forcible sterilization was done. That was not normal. They were forcible everywhere. As Delhi is concerned, even in police stations, all police, even the SHO of the police station, and everyone, they used to call their men who had two or three children to come and get their son sterilized. And people came, maybe of fear, or not. What is? No.
Okay.
Willfully koi nahi aaya.
So forced in a way only.
In a way, force.
Sir, so you must have also witnessed the Indo-Pak war when Indira Gandhi emerged as a big leader, and then came the emergency. So what are your personal views regarding Indira Gandhi during that time?
At that time, I told you earlier also that people initially did not like this, and the opposition parties were totally against it, and opposition parties raised slogans and whatnot against these things. But Indira Gandhi's in general public was very happy, as the work in their offices everywhere was done in time. Suppose your file was to be, otherwise your file never used to be traced. In these few days, any person who had worked in a government office, his file was available and his work was done in no time. That way she got some publicity, but otherwise, because their minds were, the way the people talked about her, this and that, they went against her.
Can you tell us what were the challenges that the Delhi police in total faced, the department faced, anything like that?
I don't think any challenge faced by the police. Police, there was no challenge for the police. The people were living in fear. Corruption was not there. Crime has come down. But challenge which was faced by the police, to be frank, corruption in some levels in police came up.
How is that, sir?
How is that? Because of power with them. Power was misused. I must tell you one thing. And when the power is misused, then you will find the law and order goes off, everything goes off.
Could you elaborate how did it go up? In what sense?
Because you are not involved in a case. I don't have any, warrants against you. But, okay, I'll call you. There's something fixed against you, and try to extort money from them.
Okay.
There was some instances such. I don't say blame the police. It's a police. There are certain, very rare, but they were there. But they used to get information मिल जाती थी, and we also used to get it when see what is he doing. उससे power misuse होती थी, to be very frank.